Whether Japan gets a nuclear weapon or not is up to the people of Japan. Do I think they need a weapon? Definitely. They're sitting ducks right now. The US has made it clear it's not gonna fight for South China Sea islands. I just don't think the United States is gonna fight for Senkaku Islands. China is currently lacking a balance in Asia-Pacific region. There is no balance to China. That's alarming. And the US security community, frankly, is, I think, behaving irresponsibly in the reassurances to the Japanese government that the security agreement that we've had since the 1950s is still completely in effect in this just radically different environment. Americans we have had this idea that we could control the spread of this revolutionary weapon since 1945, and we can't. We can't prevent our enemies from getting the bomb, and so instead we prevent our friends from getting it. So I think as long as the Japanese people live under the delusion that they are going to be protected by the United States in a conflict with China, then yeah, it's not realistic that they would get a weapon. But they are, I mean, I'm sort of, it's shocking to me how little, really complete absence of a conversation in Japan about what to do if the US security alliance goes away. That's despite Trump basically saying that that's what he thinks should happen. Before Pakistan and India got the bomb, everybody said that if they got bombs, they would have a nuclear war. Like, that was the mainstream view from the American security community. Now they say if Iran and Saudi Arabia get the bomb, there's going to be a nuclear war. I mean, after a certain period of time, you have to ask, how long are people going to keep believing that nonsense? Nuclear weapons have only been used to end war and prevent war. That's it. Except for I don't think that Americans refers to the American people. I think it refers to the American security establishment. And look, nuclear weapons are useful for deterrence, not for compellence. Compellence is a sort of neologism, but yeah, you can't use nuclear weapons to boss countries around. You can use them for self-defense. That's why they've had such a peacemaking role in the world. But yeah, obviously, if nuclear weapons allowed us to tell countries what to do, then the United States wouldn't have invaded Iraq, Vietnam, even South Korea, even the Korean War. So nuclear weapons are only good for self-defense. They're not good for offensive action. We've all been sort of both traumatized by nuclear weapons and then convinced that the more that there are in the world, or the more nations that have them, the more dangerous the world is. And that's just not what the record shows. And I think if Americans actually understood that, hey, we can actually pull back from our overextended alliances and invest in schools. We should be spending twice as much on education as we spend. Universal healthcare, healthcare for all, solving our homeless problem finally. I think that sounds like a pretty good deal to me, and nuclear weapons allow our allies to stay safe and secure without us having to have military bases all over the world.